my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. So today we have a follow-up from yesterday's video. In case you missed it, I covered the latest Making Star Wars leaks, which revealed that in the Ahsoka show, we're gonna see multiple eras of Ahsoka's life, Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, all in live action, and some of these flashbacks and visions are going to include a secondary Ahsoka actress, not just Rosario Dawson, but a younger actress to play the Clone Wars version. We also discussed the role of Anakin and some crazy revelations, especially concerning the world between worlds. But right after that reports came out, a new rumour emerged, and this one concerns the mystery actress who's going to play the younger version of Ahsoka. Now I must reiterate guys, this is a wild rumour. Please take it with a heap load of salt. It's not verified, but based on appearance alone, if it's true, I can imagine why they cast her. So no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into this. This comes from nerdgasm.net, and they say the following. Star Wars Ahsoka is expected in 2023, with Rosario Dawson as the lead actress. However, it's been reported that younger versions of the character will appear in the series. Nerdgasm has exclusively learned that the actress Savannah Steyn will play a young version of Ahsoka, and I should reinstate it's one of the young versions, because we're going to see multiple iterations of Ahsoka, Clone Wars Ahsoka, Star Wars Rebels Ahsoka, and of course Rosario Dawson as the primary Mandalorian era Ahsoka. For all we know, there's going to be more than two actresses. They go on to say that early in 2022, Steyn appeared in HBO's House of the Dragon, and now she'll be appearing in Disney Plus's Ahsoka series coming next year. And as we know from Making Star Wars, there are going to be some major overlaps with Skeleton Crew, but we've already discussed these rumours in depth. So concerning this casting, whether it's legit, just a fan estimation, a guess, or whatever it is, Savannah definitely has the right looks to play a younger version of Ahsoka Tano. With the right makeup and a headdress, Togruta prosthetics, she could absolutely pull it off. As I say, my dear Meglorians, as of this time, there is nothing else outside of this report that confirms it, so do not take it as gospel. And to be honest, something I do find a bit suspicious is that Savannah Steyn was a very popular fan casting. I've seen this in so many fandom spaces, on Reddit, on Twitter, so fans have definitely been talking about her for a long time. Now they do provide a little bit of evidence for why Savannah Steyn might be cast. They say the following. Aside from her role in House of the Dragon, Savannah also came to prominence in 2021 in the TV series Intergalactic, but Steyn has been radio silent in terms of projects for 2022. Her schedule for a lot of it was somewhat of a mystery. Now while House of the Dragon's first season was released this year, it's not due to restart filming for a second season until 2023, and this could mean that Steyn had a lot of time on her hands to film for a Star Wars project, notably Ahsoka. The website is convinced that their scoop is in line with MakingStarWars.net, and they do make it very clear she's going to play a teenage version of the character. And I will say, my dear Meglorians, when I was covering the recent leaks that came out yesterday, I also thought back to what Bryce Dallas Howard said. Back in April, she told Romper that Clone Wars fans would be, quote, greatly rewarded in the Ahsoka series. And I should say, guys, because she's directing in The Mandalorian Season 3, fingers crossed they also got her on board for the Ahsoka series. I think there's a very good chance of this. She sounded very close to the project, and you guys know how much I've spoken highly about Bryce Dallas Howard. I think hands down she's one of the best directors on The Mandalorian.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Now we do have a couple of other tidbits for Ahsoka. Around the same time as this Bryce interview, it was revealed that Ray Stevenson was playing a mystery villain. Now given that he voiced Gar Saxon, some fans assumed that maybe he survived being shot by Ursa Wren, but it now seems as though he's going to be playing one of Grand Admiral Thrawn's understudies. And we also learned that Ivana Sakno is playing a new type of Night Sister, which begs the question of who is going to play Hera Syndulla. My money is still on Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but we simply do not know yet. Now another confirmed casting from a long time ago is Natasha Liu Bordizzo as Sabine Wren, but she's rumoured to show up in The Mandalorian Season 3 first. And in this way, 2023 is a huge chain link between shows. Mando Season 3 connects to Ahsoka, which itself connects to Skeleton Crew, and this, according to MakingStarWars.net, is the release order: Mando, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew. Now before we move on to our next topic guys, I have a question for you. How do you feel about the usage of the world between worlds? And do you want to see it in Ahsoka? There were some fantastic discussions in the comment section of my last video, and some really healthy dialogue too. It's always so interesting to see the divide in opinions on certain Star Wars concepts. Some fans love the idea of alternate realities, while others despise it. Some find it too cheap and fanfiction-y. I for one love the way it was used in Star Wars Rebels, and I welcome the possibilities that door opens in in terms of storytelling. Dave Filoni is very clever with the usage of these kinds of ideas, and he doesn't seem to throw ideas at the wall as much as craft a narrative where moderation of these kinds of elements enhance our perception of them. The world between worlds fascinates us because it was used scarcely, and we understood how mystical such a thing was. In Rebels, it helped Ezra understand his master's sacrifice, and also was used to show us how evil Palpatine is, that he will manipulate anyone and everyone to gain access to eternal power of the universe. It was terrifying, but equally very fun, so I enjoy it, and I would love to see more of it in the Ahsoka show, but share your thoughts on this in the comments down below. And so now, my dear friends, it's been 5 years since the release of The Last Jedi, and to this day, the fandom still argues about it. Well, yesterday there was a very, very interesting development. Mark Hamill was tagged and asked a few questions about the film half a decade later. So this is from Luke Skywalker, who is an amazing Luke Skywalker impressionist, and he tags Mark Hamill and says, "Since it's the 5th anniversary of The Last Jedi's release, do you have any anecdotes or memories from making the film you'd be willing to share? Have you changed your mind about anything in these past 5 years? And would you have done things any differently?" So to the first question of any anecdotes or memories to share, Mark Hamill is quite blunt, not really. Next up, has he changed his mind about the film in the last 5 years? He says a little, and I suspect it's because Luke Skywalker was done so well in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. And here's the big one, would you have done things any differently? And he says yes. Now this is not the first time that Mark Hamill's true thoughts and feelings towards the sequels have been in the spotlight. I remember a very popular video from a few years ago that was a compilation of Mark Hamill warning us about Luke in The Last Jedi. He branded him as Jake Skywalker, and even though Mark lightened up a little bit in his public comments, it was always so crystal clear he did not like Rian Johnson's treatment of his character.
I think being pushed out of your comfort zone in this case was a good thing. Although I still say a Jedi would never give up. But that's old school.
Jedis don't give up. But if he made a mistake, he would try and right that wrong. So right there, we had a fundamental difference.
It is difficult because it's the character's part of you. Then when you see how he's interpreted by other writers and directors, sometimes it can be surprising.
And so here, 5 years later, the fact he's being very blunt, doesn't want to share anything nice about the film, no anecdotes or memories, nothing like that, just simply yes/no answers, is very telling. He's also probably very sick of being asked about it, so this is really, really interesting. I really can't believe it's already been 5 years, but share your thoughts on it in the comments down below. How do you feel about the film 5 years later? And also please share your thoughts on the Ahsoka news. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos not found here on YouTube, while also getting your name at the end of my videos, then click the link down there in the description. But until the next one, guys, may the Force be with you always.